I was reborn as a divine egg, one that can devour anything and everything. I thought the day I hatched would be my debut to rule over 10,000 worlds. Who would have guessed that Empress Liu Ru Yan, who was also reborn, would force me into a contract before I even came out? But when Liu Ru Yan saw me with her own eyes the moment I cracked that shell and crawled out, she decided to send me straight to the afterlife right then and there. Why? Just because as a baby, I look exactly like a common mutt. On top of that, there isn't a single trace of bloodline power in me. That's why Liu Ru Yan is dead certain that I'm just some dumb dog. But right at this life or death moment, I triggered the God-level Taotie Evolution System. As long as I keep devouring everything in existence, I can evolve infinitely. Right now inside the room, Liu Ru Yan is brandishing a sword, chasing me all over the place while cursing her head off. All I can do is rely on these stubby little legs, but they're quick. I'm darting back and forth under tables and through sofa gaps, just trying to stay alive. I have to say this woman is a total psycho. Every single swing is aimed right at my tiny little throat. Damn it, I look like a mutt, but is that really my fault? Besides, I'm a Taotie, a divine beast. I've got the system and everything, it's just that I'm a bit of a weakling in the early stages. Couldn't you give me just a few days to grow a little? At the same time, I managed to pick up some major tea from Liu Ru Yan's angry rambling. Turns out she's a powerhouse who was reborn too. In her past life, she relied on her insane talent to train a low-level common snake into a 4-star greenwood earth dragon, eventually becoming the Empress of the human race. But at the critical moment when she tried to break through to the god realm, she failed. It was because her spirit pet back then hit a limit it just couldn't overcome, all because of its natural foundation. That earth dragon's bloodline was just too weak. It couldn't withstand the divine lightning tribulation at all. In the end, even Liu Ru Yan got blasted by the lightning, shattering her soul and sending her back in time to be reborn. That's why in this life, Liu Ru Yan didn't hesitate to spend her entire fortune to buy this Taotie divine egg, which was rumored to have a god-tier bloodline. Who would have thought it'd hatch into a mutt with a trash start like me? Liu Ru Yan is losing her mind. Right as she was about to hack me to pieces in a fit of rage, she glanced at the contract table where an unhatched common snake egg was sitting. Seizing the chance while dodging another attack, I took a flying leap straight onto the table, opened my mouth wide, and in one gulp, I swallowed that snake egg whole. At that moment, Liu Ru Yan's entire world collapsed. You have to understand, in this world, a beast Tamer can only ever buy one beast egg to raise for their entire life. If they really can't afford one, they have to settle for a blind box egg provided by the school. But now I've gone and eaten the backup egg the school gave her. This means Liu Ru Yan has no other choice. She's forced to accept me, a common mutt with zero bloodline. Thinking about this, Liu Ru Yan got so mad she almost had a brain aneurysm on the spot. But even though she hates me enough to want to chop me into a million pieces, she ultimately can't bring herself to kill me anymore. After all, in a world where everyone is a beast tamer, a person without a beast can't survive for even a single step. Right then, I finished digesting that snake egg, and then the notification from the Taotie Evolution System rang in my ear. Ding, congratulations, host, on successfully devouring the grass snake egg. First time devouring detected. You've been gifted a special newbie starter pack. Gluttonous stomach skill, level 2. Your stomach can now hold 10 cubic meters of food, and you can digest anything to nourish and strengthen yourself. Greed willpower skill. Level 1. This briefly boosts all of your attributes by 10%. Damage reduction. Skill level 1. This allows you to absorb a small portion of both physical and mental damage. Size manipulation. Skill level 1. You can now spend energy to make your body grow twice as large or shrink by half. Hearing the system's rundown, I'm basically on cloud 9 right now. Who would have thought, just by swallowing one tiny little snake egg? I didn't just save my own scrawny neck, I also pissed that crazy chick off so much she could spit blood. Plus I scored all these top-tier rewards and 6 skills. Talk about a total win. Meanwhile, seeing that the ship had sailed, Liu Ru Yan could only grit her teeth and accept the cold, hard truth. Since the mock exam was only 7 days away and drawing on her experience as an empress in her past life, she immediately decided to head to school to request a leave of absence so she could take me out on an adventure. We're heading straight into the deadliest spot in Yuanjiang City, the Qingyuan Forest. She wants to try using a rank 4 beast in the forest to upgrade my bloodline. As a reincarnator, she understands better than anyone that an earth-grade spirit stone is about to appear in those very woods. Thinking of this, Liu Ru Yan turned around and snapped at me. "Stupid mutt, stay put and behave yourself at home. Wait for me to get back." After barking that, Liu Ru Yan didn't even look back as she stormed straight out of the house. As soon as she left, thanks to that gluttonous stomach, my belly suddenly started growling like crazy. I really couldn't stand it. Then I remembered that my stomach is literally built to digest anything and everything. I didn't hold back at all. I started devouring every single edible thing in Liu Ru Yan's house. I didn't even spare her bed or her furniture. Just as I was getting halfway full, another notification chimed in my ear. "Congratulations, host, for successfully devouring various furniture you've earned. The Super Scent skill. You can now track all items within a 100-meter radius through their scent. Once this new skill was activated, I immediately caught a strange scent wafting from the neighbor's windowsill. It was so irresistible, it was driving me crazy. Without a second thought, I sneaked across the balcony into the neighbor's place. Pretty soon I found a tiny glowing plant growing on their balcony. The system even chimed in to tell me that this little plant was actually a low-level spirit herb. If I swallowed it, I'd definitely rack up some serious evolution points. Sure, this would probably cause a major headache for Liu Ru Yan later, but thinking back to how that crazy chick was ready to kill me like a savage wolf a minute ago, my conscience was totally clear. I opened my mouth wide and gulped down that spirit herb, and then I realized the owner of the house was currently in the shower. I decided to go all the way, always devouring every single thing in his place. Anyway, I knew what was coming. Liu Ru Yan would be the one to clean up the mess. She's already paying my way after all. So what do I have to be afraid of? Pretty soon that guy who was showering in the bathroom heard the sound of his living room being torn apart. He came rushing out in a total panic. As for me, I just vaulted away with one smooth leap right back into Liu Ru Yan's house. In the end, that poor guy could only fume with rage, desperately pounding on her front door. Meanwhile, after having my fill of food and drink, I was just lounging comfortably on the floor. I gleefully listened to the system notification ting "Congratulations, host, on devouring the low-grade spirit grass and various furniture items. Reward strength +6. Spiritual power +2 evolution points +4. You currently need 8 more evolution points to evolve from an unknown beast into a heaven-devouring beast. Please keep up the hard work and keep eating." Right around that time, Liu Ru Yan had just finished requesting a leave of absence from school. She made it back to her door only to be intercepted by her neighbor, who was absolutely furious. After a heated, explosive argument between the two of them, Liu Ru Yan reluctantly paid 35 million dong to settle the matter. Once the money was gone, she turned around to go inside, only to find her own home had been completely stripped bare as well. She was so livid she nearly blacked out right then and there. She felt so incredibly wronged. Honestly, she probably wanted to butcher this useless, bottomless pit of a creature. But she couldn't bring herself to do it. This was the divine beast she'd formed a contract with. Even if it made her cry, she had to keep raising it. Meanwhile, looking at her, on the verge of a total breakdown, I felt better than if I'd just eaten 100 kilograms of prime fat. And so that night, Liu Ru Yan and I just made do and slept right on the floor. The next morning, as soon as the sun came up, she led me into the Qingyuan Forest. The moment we stepped into the woods, I shot forward like an arrow released from a bow. My nose told me that in the tall grass about 50 meters away, a pack of wild rabbits was happily munching away. Having been hungry all night, I dove straight into the brush and gobbled up every single one of those rabbits. This sight left Liu Ru Yan absolutely speechless. You have to realize with her current cultivation, she can only sense things within 20 to 30 meters. Yet here was her stupid dog, sensing living creatures from over 50 meters away. Drawing on her experience as an empress in her past life, she was certain this was definitely one of my innate skills. And having an innate skill like that proved that hidden deep within my body was a powerful bloodline that hadn't been activated yet. Thinking about this, all the resentment she felt toward me earlier vanished into thin air. Instead, she ran over and pulled me into a tight hug, saying excitedly, "You silly dog." I finally found a glimmer of hope. The heavens truly haven't abandoned me. Right at that moment, the system notification rang in my ears again. Notification. The intimacy level between the host and Liu Ru Yan has increased by 20%. The Devourer of all things talent has been activated by 20%. Even I was a bit surprised by this. Who knew that getting on this crazy woman's good side could actually level up my skills, so to make her like me even more? I activated my size alteration skill. In an instant, my body swelled to double its size. And then in a flash, I shrank down until I was no bigger than an ant. This little performance left Liu Ru Yan completely stunned once again. At the same time, our intimacy level and the Devourer of all things talent. My devouring stats have all increased by 30%. This means the energy I can convert from everything I consume is now way higher than it was before. Just as Liu Ru Yan was beaming with joy about a dozen meters away on a massive tree, there was a tiny subtle rustle. Liu Ru Yan's gaze instantly sharpened as she drew her dagger. She looked at me and said, "You dumb dog. Just wait until I take care of that wood snake over there, then I'll buy you some real meat to eat." After saying that, Liu Ru Yan headed straight for that giant tree. Following her line of sight, I also spotted a large snake coiled up and hiding on the trunk ahead. Its color blended almost perfectly with the bark. Liu Ru Yan reached the base of the tree in no time, and with a few incredibly precise strikes, she sliced the wood snake into two halves. I have to admit, this girl's skills are seriously fast and decisive. But just as she was about to skin the snake, I lunged forward and swallowed it whole. As the two snake pieces slid down my throat, Liu Ru Yan immediately started scolding me. "You stupid dog. If you're gonna eat, then eat. But at least leave the skin for me to sell. I just spent 35 million on you yesterday, and now I only have 35,000 left." Once I finished devouring the snake, the system notifications immediately popped up. "Congratulations, host, on devouring a wood snake. Strength +5 defense +3 and 8 evolution points awarded to the host. Host is now eligible to evolve into a devourer beast. However, during evolution, the host will enter a deep sleep for 5 minutes. Does the host wish to evolve right now?" Hearing this, I thought to myself, there isn't any danger around here anyway. So I decisively chose to start the evolution process immediately. With the evolution successfully initiated, I slumped to the ground and fell into a deep sleep. Meanwhile, Liu Ru Yan immediately felt the abnormality in my body through our contract. She rushed over to pick me up and gave me a thorough inspection. When she felt a familiar surge of vital energy swirling inside me, she realized that I was actually evolving. At that thought, a look of profound shock appeared in Liu Ru Yan's beautiful eyes, because if a spirit beast can evolve on its own without the help of any special elixirs, it means its bloodline is incredibly complex and powerful. In that moment, Liu Ru Yan even felt like I wasn't just some ordinary mutt, but a truly formidable divine beast. 5 minutes later, I finished my evolution. Compared to before, my body had grown a bit larger, and all of my skills had reached level 2. Most importantly, my mental strength was now high enough that Liu Ru Yan could feel the simple thoughts I sent her way. So I immediately transmitted the thought that I was absolutely starving. And Liu Ru Yan didn't look as annoyed as she used to. She immediately took out a nearby low-level rank 1 burrow rat. Then she personally carved it up and fed me each piece of meat one by one. After finishing the rat, I noticed my evolution points only increased by 7. Meanwhile, the next evolution requires a full 100 points. At this rate, even eating 8 meals a day wouldn't be enough. When Liu Ru Yan received this thought from me, her face instantly soured. She thought to herself, "What kind of monster am I raising 8 meals a day, and he's still complaining it's too little? At this rate, I'll go broke just trying to feed him." But while Liu Ru Yan was complaining internally, a squad of over 20 people appeared up ahead. Liu Ru Yan glanced over and realized they were the elite personal guards of Lord Zhao Tianlai. She didn't want any extra trouble, so she planned to turn around and slip away. but the lead guard was sharp and called her out. "Miss, have you seen a young girl around 17 or 18 years old anywhere?" Hearing this, the guard then gave Liu Ru Yan a few more instructions. If she ran into that girl, she had to report it to the Lord's mansion immediately. He promised there would be a generous reward. With that, the guards hurried off. As for me standing nearby and hearing all that, I started thinking to myself, is the Lord's daughter Liu Ru Yan must have read my mind. She immediately remembered Zhao Xin, the daughter of Lord Zhao Tianlai, from her past life. That girl had been kidnapped and robbed by an organization called the Wolf Fang Squad. Those bastards eventually gave in to their dark urges, and once they were done, they dumped her body in the middle of nowhere. Once Zhao Tianlai uncovered the truth, he mercilessly wiped out the entire Wolf Fang Squad. Thinking about this, Liu Ru Yan fell into a deep silence. She was calculating. If she could save Zhao Xin, she could use the opportunity to squeeze some serious favors out of Zhao Tianlai. From what she knew, Zhao Tianlai controlled a secret realm that held some pretty sweet treasures. But the leader of the Wolf Fang Squad was Lin Lang, a peak level 2 warrior. His blood key value was nearly 2,000. That strength was way beyond her current ability to handle. After sensing what Liu Ru Yan was thinking, I couldn't help but curse under my breath. "You stupid woman. Your #1 priority right now is finding meat for me to eat, and as much of it as possible. Otherwise, with your amateur skills, trying to save someone is nothing but a suicide mission. If you're really that hell-bent on dying, don't you dare drag me down with you." The moment I said that, Liu Ru Yan gritted her teeth in pure rage. Was this even her contracted spirit beast? He was clearly acting like her damn boss. But as furious as she was, she knew my words made perfect sense. So, she stopped her daydreaming and went back to obediently hunting monsters to fill my bottomless stomach. As things went on, Liu Ru Yan managed to hunt 2 level 1 shadow cats and 9 level 1 long-eared rabbits. But that tiny bit of monster meat wasn't even enough to get stuck in my teeth. I even had to swallow 2 giant rocks just to feel a tiny bit full. Seeing me eat like such a glutton, Liu Ru Yan could only let out a helpless sigh. Was I really a great empress in my past life, only to be reborn, just to spend every single day finding food for this dumb dog? Right then, I didn't have time to care about her whining, because just now I suddenly caught a scent coming from a cave. Not far ahead, an aroma so seductive I completely lost all self-control. I bolted toward the cave like a literal arrow. Liu Ru Yan, left in the dust, could only follow my lead while grumbling curses under her breath. Very quickly, the two of us reached the deepest part of the cavern. There we saw a pool over 10 meters wide, and what's more, in the pond there were over a dozen weird-looking fish with bright red scales. There was no doubt about it. That irresistible scent was coming right from these strange little guys. So I dove right into the water, planning to grab a few for a snack. But the second my claws even brushed against one of them, out of nowhere that fish's tail packed a massive punch, sending me flying 1 or 2 meters back and slamming me hard against the side of the pond. Spirit +1. Hearing that I was so pumped I practically jumped out of my skin. Who knew the water in this pond was some kind of legendary treasure? Plus, I only took 1 or 2 sips earlier, and my stats already went up. If I drink this whole place dry, wouldn't my stats just skyrocket through the roof? Thinking that, I immediately opened my mouth wide and started chugging down the water like crazy. Meanwhile, Liu Ru Yan was standing nearby watching me get tossed around by those weird fish. At first she laughed her head off, but deep down she was actually pretty shocked. See, those strange fish in this spirit spring were actually a type of monster called dragon blood fish. Legend says these things carry actual dragon blood in their veins, and eating them gives a massive boost to your vitality. On top of that, Liu Ru Yan realized something else. Dragon blood fish usually only show up in secret realms, and there have always been rumors about a secret realm in the Qingyuan Forest. But up until now, nobody had ever actually found it. In other words, this place could very well be the entrance to the Qingyuan secret realm. Thinking about that, Liu Ru Yan was absolutely ecstatic. She immediately decided she had to gobble up every single dragon blood fish in that pond. She needed to power up first. As a rank 2 martial artist, she wasn't wasting any time. Liu Ru Yan dove right into the pond to catch them, but by then I'd already sucked the pond bone dry. Since Liu Ru Yan was a high-level human, it was a piece of cake for her to snatch up over 10 of those dragon blood fish. Liu Ru Yan stood there, holding the fish, smugly bragging right to my face. You stupid dog, you're way out of your league. There's no way you're keeping these dragon blood fish. Besides, I'm using all of these to boost my own stats. So, none of this meat is for you. But just as she finished talking, she saw a dark blur flash right before her eyes. Suddenly, all those dragon blood fish in her hands vanished into thin air. In a heartbeat, they'd all landed right inside my big mouth. I stood there with the fish in my mouth, arrogantly wiggling my butt at Liu Ru Yan. Hey, you stupid woman who said I couldn't keep them. Thanks for catching my dinner for me. With that, I opened my massive mouth, getting ready to swallow every last one of them. At that moment, Liu Ru Yan was so furious, she looked like she was about to explode. But since I had the fish in my mouth, all she could do was grit her teeth and swallow her pride. She started begging me like a kicked puppy, asking if I'd just leave her a tiny bit of meat. She argued that if she could just level up her martial arts, she'd be able to lead me into the secret realm, to find even better treasures. Well, I'm not exactly heartless. So I generously tossed Liu Ru Yan a fish head and a tail that barely had any meat on them. Just like that, after finishing off the dragon blood fish, all my skills hit level 4. Especially my gluttonous stomach. It can now hold 40 cubic meters of food. But because the food was packed in so tightly, my evolution points actually didn't go up all that much. If I want to evolve fast, I'm just going to have to keep stuffing my face as much as possible. And what about Liu Ru Yan? Since she had to settle for my scraps and leftovers, her vitality only managed to jump up by 300 points. Compared to the 500 points of vitality a first-tier warrior has, she's still got a long way to go. But at least she can finally use her martial arts now, specifically that myriad origins as one technique of hers. Still, with this little bit of strength, trying to get into the secret realm is gonna be tough. Thinking about that, Liu Ru Yan snaps at me in a total rage. You stupid dog, it's all your fault for being such a glutton. Now we can't even get into the secret realm anymore. Hearing that, I just play deaf and keep lounging lazily on the ground. You want me to spit back those resources? Yeah. Keep dreaming. What if this little dummy becomes unreliable one day? This guy has got to look out for himself to survive, you know. Right after that, Liu Ru Yan uses her spiritual energy to set up a hidden spirit array at the bottom of the lake, making sure the entrance stays hidden for at least 1 month, so nobody finds it. Then she drags me along to continue, into the Azure Source Forest to hunt some spirit beasts. But just as we're passing through a dense part of the woods, we don't notice 2 rogue warriors lurking in the shadows. One of them, a guy named Ma Ho, whispers to his buddy Hu. Hey Hu, my stomach's growling right about now. How about we grab that dumb dog that just walked by and grill him up for a snack? Hu glares at Ma Ho and barks back in annoyance. Damn it, is food the only thing on your mind? Didn't you see that girl who just passed by? Looks way tastier than the one we caught last time. After saying that they both let out a disgusting, sleazy laugh. Meanwhile, Liu Ru Yan and I are busy dealing with a first-tier golden-eyed tiger. Even though this tiger was almost level 2 since I'd just leveled up myself, I ripped right through its chest with one claw, killing it on the spot. Just as I'm swallowing the golden-eyed tiger, Hu and Ma Ho jump out from the shadows, giving Liu Ru Yan a creepy smirk. Hey, sweetheart. As long as you're willing to have some fun with us, we might let you live, and your dog too. We could even bring you into our Wolf Fang squad. What do you say? The reason Hu and Ma Ho are so cocky right now is because they can clearly tell Liu Ru Yan is just a total newbie warrior, with a vitality level under 300, and her pet being nothing more than a stupid dog. They're absolutely sure they can take her down without breaking a sweat. Facing these 2 creeps, Liu Ru Yan, who was an empress in her past life, just calmly pulls out her dagger. Stupid dog, get back and stay out of the way. Just watch your own back. After she says that, Liu Ru Yan turns her head, wanting to see where I went. But me, I'm not the type to take risks at all, so I'd already bolted behind a huge rock, silently cheering her on in my head. Now's your big moment to play the hero and save the dog. You've got this, girl. Seeing me ditch her like that, Liu Ru Yan gets so mad she nearly spits blood. If it weren't for the enemies right in front of her, she'd probably have come over and stabbed me twice herself. This whole scene just makes Hu and Ma Ho burst out laughing. Hu mocks her directly. Sweetheart, you really are all beauty and no brains. What good is that dumb dog besides being a meal? You're just a useless brat. If someone like you is considered reliable, then pigs can fly. Meanwhile, from my spot behind the rock, hearing Erhu's words, I start sharpening my already lethal claws against the stone. Because I'm planning to give this Erhu guy a nice sharp surprise right through his heart. As for Mahu, he just keeps wearing that sleazy grin. Mahao chuckled as he whispered to Niho. Niho, here is the plan. One of us in front, and one in the back. We'll strike together and sandwich this little hottie from both sides. Niho let out a sinister laugh. In a flash, he was already behind Liu Ru Yan, but waiting for the perfect moment to deliver a fatal blow. However, even in this tight spot, Liu Ru Yan remained unfazed. Drawing on her combat experience from her past life, she began to analyze the situation calmly. Even though she was just a warrior with 300 blood points right now, the two of them weren't much stronger than she was. Besides, she could set up traps right on the fly. If she could just catch one of them off guard and take him down first, she could flip the entire script instantly. With that thought, Liu Ru Yan immediately began casting a spirit array. In the blink of an eye, two deep mud pits opened up right beneath Niho and Mahao's feet. Caught completely off guard by this sudden move, neither of them had time to react. They fell straight into the pits and got stuck. Mahao cried out in shock. Hey, gorgeous. How the hell do you know spirit arrays? Are you more than just a warrior? But a divine master too. Liu Ru Yan didn't even give him a second look. Instead, she directly unleashed her martial skill, the blazing sun finger. Suddenly, her index finger erupted with a light as blinding as the sun. She blurred across the ground, appearing right in front of Mahao. Her hand transformed into an eagle's claw, aiming straight for his head. Since Mahao's lower body was still stuck in the trap and couldn't move, he desperately summoned his bound spirit beast, the yellow-eyed tiger, hoping it could block her lethal strike. But before the first round was even over, Liu Ru Yan's finger pierced right through the tiger's skull, killing it on the spot. Seeing his beast slaughtered, Mahao lost his mind in a fit of rage. You bitch! You actually killed my tiger. Today I'm going to make you pay for this with your life. With a roar, he pushed his vitality to the limit and forced his way out of the trap. He drew the short blade from his hip and lunged at Liu Ru Yan. Meanwhile, Niho, seeing the beast fall, also used all his strength to leap out of his hole. At the same time, he immediately summoned his own spirit beast, the listening ape, a massive creature with glowing red eyes. Standing 2 meters tall, it loomed over the battlefield right beside him. Together, man and beast charged, aiming for a sneak attack on Liu Ru Yan's back. Right then, hiding behind a massive boulder, I activated my size manipulation skill. Instantly, my body doubled in size. Then I quickly triggered my greedy power skill, causing my stats to skyrocket by 40% for a brief moment. With such overwhelming power, I moved like a ghost, appearing right behind Niho. He felt a sudden icy chill on the back of his neck. Just as he started to turn his head to see what was there, a soul-crushing pain hit him. He looked down and froze in pure terror. He saw a razor-sharp claw that had punched right through his chest, piercing his heart from behind. In that final moment, he turned to look at me in utter despair and let out a blood-curdling scream. So it turns out you're not some dumb dog after all. You're actually the divine beast, Taotie. At this moment, Erhu felt that he and Mahu were being utterly pathetic. Their so-called pincer attack turned out to be nothing more than a trap they set for themselves. As for me, I let out a dominating roar and suddenly ripped my claws out of Erhu's back. Erhu collapsed instantly, drawing his last breath and dying right on the spot. Seeing its master dead, the golden ape nearby let out a furious howl. But I didn't give it a single chance to counter. I lunged straight at it, my claws piercing right through the golden ape's chest. And at that exact moment, Liu Ru Yan, relying on her superior combat skills, sent that horse ape flying with a single kick. It happened to land right next to Erhu. Spitting up blood, the horse ape stared at the lifeless Erhu in total shock. It was clear Liu Ru Yan was just a martial artist with only 300 blood points, yet during the fight it couldn't gain any advantage at all. What's more, how could that dumb dog take down Erhu and the golden ape so easily? Thinking of this, 10,000 questions raced through the horse ape's mind. but seeing us closing in, he didn't have time to think and desperately begged for mercy. "Please, I beg you don't kill me, our Wolfang squad is right nearby. Our leader Lin Lang is a peak level 2 martial artist. If you kill me, the Wolfang squad will never let you get away with it." As soon as he said that, the dagger in Liu Ru Yan's hand flashed with a cold light. Moments later, the horse ape also drew his last breath. I completely agreed with Liu Ru Yan's decision. The second the horse ape died, I immediately activated the devouring stomach, swallowing the carcasses of the flame tiger and red ape whole. Once everything was handled, Liu Ru Yan said to me, "Silly dog, we need to find a place to hide fast. If we end up alerting the Wolf Fang squad, we won't stand a chance with our current strength." Right then, I suddenly caught a strong scent of minerals, wafting from about 200 meters ahead. If I'm not mistaken, there must be a mine up there. That way we can not only use it as a hideout, but maybe I'll even find some ore to devour for my evolution. With that in mind, I quickly let Liu Ru Yan in on what I found. When she realized I could pick up a scent from 200 meters away, she was absolutely stunned. She scooped me up and dashed toward the mine. But just as we left, 20 or 30 powerful martial artists descended on the spot like a storm. Leading them was the Wolf Fang squad leader, Lin Lang. Looking at the bloodstains, Lin Lang quickly deduced that Mahu and the two Hus had been murdered. His face darkened as he growled coldly, "Who the hell dared to kill my men?" Hearing this, over 20 subordinates were ready to hunt for the killer nearby, but Lin Lang stopped them immediately. Instead, he summoned his spirit beast, the Blood Wolf. Then Lin Lang told his subordinates, "My blood wolf can track the killer's scent in no time. Everyone get ready for battle. Once we find them, kill them on sight." With that, the blood wolf behind Lin Lang lunged forward. On the other side, Liu Ru Yan and I entered the mine exactly as expected. Using my god-level sense of smell, I managed to sniff out a massive amount of blazing sun iron ore within the cave. After devouring a huge heap of that blazing sun iron, the system's voice rang in my ears once again. "Congratulations to the host for obtaining the blazing sun tattoo. Once inscribed on your skin, it increases your strength slightly when activated, and also carries the scorching power of the blazing sun. Congratulations, host, on successfully breaking through to the early stage of rank 1. Hearing the system's introduction, I was so hyped I could have gone crazy. Now that I've reached the early stage of rank 1, I can finally be considered a real monster beast. Plus, having the boost of the blazing sun tattoo is just freaking awesome. Liu Ru Yan, standing beside me, could also sense my evolution. She was completely floored. You have to realize a spirit beast that just hatched a few hours ago. Becoming a rank 1 monster beast is insane. Even as a former empress in her past life, she had never seen anything like it. On top of that, not only can I eat anything, but I can actually increase my power through the energy I consume. Just these 2 points alone made Liu Ru Yan find me a little terrifying. So she cautiously asked me, "Hey, you stupid pup, you don't actually carry the bloodline of the ancient beast Taotie, do you? But hasn't the Taotie been extinct for a long time now?" Hearing that, I gave her a smug look. "You stupid woman, did you just sleep your way to that empress throne in your past life? I told you ages ago I'm the divine beast Taotie, but you just wouldn't believe me. From now on, if you treat me a little better, I might just carry you to greatness. But if you ever dare to swing a knife at me again, I'm gonna swallow you whole." As soon as I finished speaking, Liu Ru Yan didn't get angry. Instead, she looked incredibly excited. You see, a pure Taotie bloodline is an absolutely invincible existence. Since a Taotie can devour heaven and earth, every attack thrown at it is basically child's play. In other words, having a god-tier spirit beast like me this time around means I can totally carry her and let her flex on everyone. Thinking about this, Liu Ru Yan felt incredibly lucky. Thank God she didn't actually kill me earlier, or she would have missed out on this super divine beast. While Liu Ru Yan was lost in her thoughts, I sniffed the air and spoke up. "Hey, stupid woman, I smell blood up ahead, and there's a scent of women's perfume too." Hearing this, Liu Ru Yan immediately thought, could it be Zhao Xin, the city lord's daughter? Maybe she escaped the kidnappers and hid in this mine while wounded. If we could pull off a surprise rescue for Zhao Xin, wouldn't that secret realm treasure in the hands of city Lord Zhao Tianlai be a piece of cake to get? With that in mind, Liu Ru Yan and I immediately followed the scent of blood deeper into the mine. At the same time, outside the mine, the Wolf Fang team had followed. the bloodthirsty wolves to the cave entrance. With a single command from Ling Lang, over 20 thugs leading their monster beasts immediately swarmed into the mine. Under my pinpoint guidance, Liu Ru Yan successfully located Zhao Xin. She spoke coldly toward a dark corner. "Come out. I know you're hiding there." Hearing those words, Zhao Xin started shaking like a leaf, thinking the pursuers had finally caught up. But then Liu Ru Yan said something that left her speechless. "I'm not one of those wolf fang thugs. I'm just a student from Linjiang High." It turned out Zhao Xin actually knew Liu Ru Yan. Her face was a mask of pure shock, and she immediately burst into tears begging for help. She even promised her father would pay a massive reward, but Liu Ru Yan just gave a cool, calm nod. I laid down my only condition. "You follow my lead," and just like that, Liu Ru Yan led her over to a solid rock wall. It was the perfect hiding spot she'd scouted out. Then Liu Ru Yan did something absolutely insane. She actually decided to teach Zhao Xin how to set up a spirit array worth hundreds of millions right then and there. Zhao Xin was frozen in place, but the real bombshell was yet to come. Liu Ru Yan looked her in the eye and said this fixed spirit array was to reinforce their shelter. Why? Because she planned to bring the entire mine down, burying the whole Wolf Fang squad alive. "But how do we get out?" Zhao Xin gasped, her eyes nearly popping out of her head. But Liu Ru Yan just told her not to sweat it. She had a plan. Even though Zhao Xin looked like she'd just swallowed a lemon, she obediently started setting up the array. After all, she didn't exactly have a choice but to trust Liu Ru Yan. At that moment, I was tucked away in a corner, munching down on ore like there was no tomorrow. Right then, the system notification pinged inside my head. Ding, 75 kilograms of crimson sun iron ore digested. Strength plus 40 defense plus 30. Holy cow. My stats are through the roof. My defense is sitting at a whopping 290 now, making me basically a walking fortress. If I can just devour those 20 thugs and their spirit beasts, I'll have more than enough energy to evolve. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Heavy footsteps started echoing from outside the cave. A wolf's howl pierced the air, making Zhao Xin's face turn ghostly pale. "The Wolf Fang squad is here." A second later, a rowdy mob came bursting in. High-powered flashlights blinded us instantly. Their leader Lin Lang caught sight of Liu Ru Yan and started drooling like a dog. "Whoa, 2 babes at once. Looks like we're having a feast tonight." Then with a disgusting smirk, he started threatening them. "Listen here, sweetheart, hand over that divine master technique. Otherwise, my boys here haven't had a woman in days." Zhao Xin was literally shaking with rage, and she tried to use her status to back them off. "My father is the city lord. Don't you dare lay a finger on me!" But Lin Lang just burst out laughing, looking at her with pure contempt. "Yeah, and I'm the city lord's daddy. You really think I'm that stupid?" As soon as the words left his mouth, his peak rank 2 aura exploded. He started closing in one step at a time, a vile smirk creeping across his face. "Become my woman and hand over that technique. Once I break through to rank 3, I'll make sure you're well taken care of." But while Lin Lang was busy acting all high and mighty, I was perched on Liu Ru Yan's shoulder. I gave him a look cold enough to freeze blood. "Trying to steal my woman. You've got a death wish." I was absolutely fuming. "Yu Yan, take this loser out. How dare he look at you like that?" But Liu Ru Yan just furrowed her brows. She was probably calling me a dumb dog 1,000 times in her head. Then without another word, her icy gaze swept over the Wolf Fang squad. A faint smile played on her lips. "Oh, I've got the techniques you want, and the combat skills to match. But there's so many of you. Who exactly should I give this to?" As soon as Lum Lang heard that, he barked out. To me, obviously, but Liu Nuyin only responded with a look of pure disdain. Right in the palm of her hand, a silver pearl began to shimmer and condense into existence. "This is a high-grade Spirit Master scroll, and you only get one shot at learning it." With that, she casually tossed the pearl into the air. In an instant, the words "high grade" hit the crowd like a bolt of lightning, and everyone's eyes turned red with greed. Lum Lang was the first to lunge for it, and the 20-plus men behind him followed suit, charging forward like absolute madmen. This was the kind of treasure that could change someone's destiny forever. Grabbing it meant having everything. In a heartbeat, Lum Lang turned into a streak of bloody light, snatching the pearl out of the air, before blasting everyone back with a surge of raw energy. His face twisted into a snarl as he roared at his comrades. "You pieces of trash want to die. You dare try to steal from me." But those words were the final straw. The rage of his men finally boiled over. Why is it that every good thing always goes to you? We've bled for you for 7 long years, and we haven't even saved enough for a wedding. Now you want to hog this technique all for yourself? You're not fit to lead us anymore. Lum Lang's mask completely slipped, his eyes filled with nothing but contempt. "You useless trash. You think I actually give a damn about you? If you're so tired of living, then fine, just go ahead and die." The next second, a terrifying surge of blood-red energy exploded from his body. His blood wolf turned into a crimson blur, tearing through the crowd in the blink of an eye. Blood-curdling screams filled the air. Those Earth-level warriors were as fragile as paper before his power. Just like that, the Lang Na squad was caught in a brutal civil war. A gruesome battle for the treasure had begun, while Liu Yan pulled Trio Hun back, quietly retreating toward the spirit array we'd already prepared. Trio Han stood there completely dazed. Her eyes were full of awe. The Lang Na squad had been hunting her for 2 whole days, and now here they were ripping each other apart like a pack of rabid dogs, all because of this woman. She eventually stammered out, "Sister Liu, should we launch a sneak attack?" But Liu Yan just shook her head calmly. "No need. Stepping in now would only interrupt them. Let them finish each other off. By the time they're done, their strength will be completely drained. That's when we'll move in for the harvest." Sure enough, an hour later, Lum Lang was covered in wounds, leaning against a rock wall and gasping for breath. His blood wolf was crippled, barely clinging to life. Then Lum Lang pulled out that silver pearl, his eyes burning with a wild, crazed light. He looked toward Liu Yan in the distance and flashed a wicked, sinister grin. "Little girl, you're clever. You forced me to butcher every single one of my own men. But I, Lum Lang, have a real soft spot for smart women like you." But Liu Yan just smiled a smile so cold it could freeze your soul. "Tell me, did you ever stop to guess that this technique was a total fake?" Her words hit Lum Lang like a bucket of ice water. "Impossible. This is definitely the real deal." He let out a roar and immediately pushed his spirit power into the pearl to check it. But the very second his spirit power made contact, the pearl went pop. It dissolved into pure spirit energy and vanished into thin air. At that exact moment, the swamp array we'd laid under his feet was triggered. Lum Lang immediately sank waist-deep into the mire. He thrashed around wildly, howling like a cornered beast. But the nightmare was far from over. Without a moment's hesitation, Liu Yan detonated the second spirit array. Boom, boom! Countless cracks spread across the stone ceiling overhead. The entire mine began to collapse. Lin Long's face was filled with horror and despair. A split second later, massive boulders came crashing down, completely burying him. The dust began to settle. The front half of the mine was totally blocked off. Seeing this, Zhao Xin coughed, his face pale with fear. Classmate Liu were trapped too. This blockage must be at least 100 meters thick, right? How are we going to get out of here? Just then, Liu Ru Yan grabbed me and threw me straight out. I landed flat on my face, looking back at her with pure resentment. "Yan, honey, couldn't you be a little gentler with your man?" But she just frowned coldly and snapped "Stop talking nonsense and start digging a path now." Watching the air in the cave get thinner, Zhao Xin paced back and forth, consumed with anxiety. But Liu Ru Yan just stared at me indifferently. Who does she think she's looking down on? "Yours truly is the ancient beast, Taotie." I charged straight into the pile of rubble. I opened my mouth wide and started devouring everything. But the speed was still a bit slow. So without hesitation, I spent 20 evolution points. Gluttonous stomach level 5 digestion speed increased by 50%. The next second, my rock-swallowing speed skyrocketed. Just like that, I kept munching away for over 1 hour. Finally, I dug my way to the corpse of that bloodthirsty wolf. I didn't hold back and swallowed it in one gulp. Devoured a peak rank 2 bloodthirsty wolf. Digestion is expected to be complete in 1 day. Good food is always worth the wait. I went back to frantically swallowing rubble. Shortly after, I pulled out a body that was torn to shreds. It was Lin Lang's corpse. But on his hand right now, his storage ring was completely unharmed. I curiously picked it up. It was still radiating a faint spiritual energy. This is definitely a decent treasure. I smiled with satisfaction and took it. I grabbed the ring immediately. I scurried over to Liu Ru Yan's feet. Yan, take this as a token of my love, and you'll be mine forever. She gave me a look, then took the ring and put it right on her finger. I hurried her along, telling her to see if there was anything good inside. Liu Ru Yan used her spiritual sense to check, and her eyes lit up instantly. Elixirs, spirit, herbs, demonic beast corpses, and even a yellow-grade longsword. With these before the college entrance exam, she could break through to the late stage of rank 1. Yet she just curled her lip and said, "So poor." After that, she took out all the beast corpses from the storage ring and fed them to me, but I could still smell a strong scent of spirit herbs. Yan, there are spirit herbs in that ring. Give them to me now." To my surprise, she pulled her hand back immediately. "No way, I need these herbs for my cultivation." Hearing that, I lost it. "Your lord's bloodline is about to evolve. Hand over the herbs to your master right now." Liu Ru Yan's face darkened, and in the end, very reluctantly, she pulled out an ice crystal flower. She tossed it to me. "Just one. That's all, there's nothing left." I gave a soft snort and swallowed the ice crystal flower. This stingy woman, does she really think this young master can't smell them? Ding. Swallowed a mid-tier yellow-grade ice crystal flower. Attributes are skyrocketing. Although spirit herbs give fewer evolution points, they digest quickly. This is the perfect treasure for grinding points fast. To clear the mind tunnel faster, I gritted my teeth with determination and poured 30 evolution points into it. Gourmet stomach level 6. Digestion speed has increased by another 50%. I only have 6 evolution points left. But I know that once I finish digesting all these bodies, the second bloodline evolution will definitely be a success. So, back to the feast. But right then, things took a turn outside the mine. 2 thugs from the Wolf Fang squad heard a massive boom inside the cave. They were so terrified they were practically shaking out of their boots. Right after that, the city lord's guards showed up, having heard the noise themselves. The next second, a man riding a giant eagle swooped down and snatched up those 2 thugs in a flash. His eyes were ice cold as he demanded to know why the mine had collapsed. And more importantly, where is our young lady? The 2 thugs were too scared to even make a sound. He didn't hesitate for a second. Snap! He crushed one of their throats like a twig. "You have 3 seconds. The remaining thug literally wet his pants as he stammered out that they were hunting someone. Suddenly, the man shoved a photo in his face. Seeing Zhao Xin in the picture, the thug was absolutely paralyzed with fear. He knew right then that he was dead meat. That woman was the city lord's only daughter. Pure killing intent flared in the man's eyes as he grabbed the thug's throat again. He turned and roared at his men. "The young lady must be safe at all costs. Clear the mine now, I want a way through in 3 hours. Little did they know, during those precious 3 hours, I was busy leveling up like crazy inside. Level 1, mid-stage, wind-chasing leopard. Digested 12. Evolution points gained. Level 1, peak. Black-striped tiger. Digested 20, evolution points gained. Congrats, you've broken through to level 1, mid-stage. Hahaha. It's a triple win. My evolution points just blew past 100. My stats are skyrocketing too. Attack 276, defense 357, evolution points 126. As for me now, my combat power has officially hit level 1 mid-stage. And my defense, it's actually getting close to level 1 late stage. This insane growth rate. I guess I really am an ancient calamity beast. With 126 points in the bag, I can finally start my second bloodline evolution, but I need to hold off for a bit. I have to wait for them to clear the mine first. Safety first before I make my move. Besides, once I finish digesting that level 2 beast in my belly, my stats are going to explode again. Just then, the ground started to shake violently. The Wolf Fang squad is completely wiped out. The people digging must be the city lord's guards. Perfect. I'll let these guys do the hard work for me. Time for a little nap. I looked up, pushed off with my 4 stubby little legs, and hopped right onto Liu Ru Yan's shoulder. Liu Ru Yan's lip twitched as she gave me a totally speechless look. She's probably just stunned by how fast I'm growing. Zhao Xin, standing nearby, let out a little giggle. "Classmate Liu, your soul beast is so funny." "Why did it stop digging?" Liu Ru Yan answered calmly. "He says your guards are already digging from the outside. They'll be through in 2 hours at most." Zhao Xin was instantly overjoyed. Her nerves, which had been stretched to the limit, finally relaxed. She looked at Liu Ru Yan with pure gratitude. "Liu, thank you so much for saving my life." "Is there anything you want hearing?" That my eyes snapped open. "This is it, my big chance." I started frantically tugging at Liu Ru Yan's collar. "Little Yanyan, go on and demand those elixirs. You've got to ask for lots of them, a whole ton of elixirs." Well, Liu Ru Yan ended up losing her patience and just shoved my head right down with one hand. A second later, she finally looked up at Zhao Xin and said, "I want access to your family's low-level secret realm, and I'm gonna need some elixirs too." Zhao Xin thought about it for just a heartbeat before nodding in agreement. "Consider the secret realm done. I'll have those elixirs delivered to you in 3 days. Right at that moment, rumble, rumble. Boom! A piercing grinding sound echoed from up ahead. Then came a frantic, worried shout. "My lady, are you in there?" Hearing that voice, a smile finally broke across Zhao Xin's face. "Commander Zheng, I'm over here. Get your men to start digging." Outside the mine, Zhang Zhengyuan was absolutely beside himself with joy. Thank goodness everyone pick up the pace. As soon as the final boulder was cleared away, he and Liu Ru Yan followed Zhao Xin out of the mine. That Commander Zhang rushed over immediately, pulling out some healing medicine and handing it to Zhao Xin. But a split second later, his eyes were locked onto Liu Ru Yan, filled with pure suspicion. "Who is this student, and why is she with my young lady?" Zhao Xin quickly spoke up to explain. "Commander Zhang, she's the one who saved me." That commander named Zhang looked incredibly grateful, saying the city lord's manor would surely reward her. But Liu Ru Yan just gave him a cold look, completely brushing him off. "Your guards are here now. I've still got training to do, so I'm heading out." With that, she pulled him straight into the forest, leaving the commander and Zhao Xin standing there, completely stunned. He had no idea about the shock that was about to hit him. Zhao Xin could only give a wry smile. "Commander Zheng, if I told you she wiped out over 20 members of the Wolf Fang squad without breaking a sweat, would you believe me?" The moment she said it, the commander's pupils shrunk in sheer shock, his face a mask of pure disbelief. How is that even possible? The Wolf Fang captain is a peak level 2 after all, but Zhao Xin told him she did it and made it look as easy as breathing. She didn't have a single scratch on her. Suddenly it clicked for the commander this girl had used. The mine collapsed to set a perfect trap, killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Having that kind of brains and talent is just terrifying. Meanwhile, he was busy rushing Liu Ru Yan. "Little Yanyan, find us a safe spot fast. I'm about to evolve." When she heard those words, Liu Ru Yan couldn't hide her own excitement. "Because every time I evolve, I can channel a massive surge of power back into her." She was just 1 step away from reaching the late stage of rank 1. Before long, we found a flat clearing to the west. Ding 100, evolution points deducted. The moment the bloodline evolution kicked in, a wave of dizziness washed over me. My body was wrapped in a bloodline aura with dense pale red energy swirling all around. My bloodline was constantly being refined. I was taking massive leaps toward becoming a true ancient calamity beast, the Taotie. But I never expected that, while I was busy evolving, Liu Ru Yan would sneakily pull out 3 elixirs from her storage ring behind my back. Then she swallowed them all in one go. However, what Liu Ru Yan was actually terrified of right now was something else entirely: a mutiny. When a spirit beast's power surpasses its master's, there's a high chance of a violent backlash, and I happen to be the Taotie, one of the 4 great ancient calamities. My bloodlust has been legendary since the dawn of time. No human has ever truly been able to tame me. Liu Ru Yan was deeply worried that as my bloodline grew stronger, she was personally raising a catastrophe for the world. A world-ending monster that even if she regained her peak power as the Empress, she still wouldn't be able to stop. Thinking of this, she let out a soft sigh. Her eyes were glued to me, but I couldn't hear a single thing she was saying. My flesh was tearing apart and my bones were literally roaring. My body swelled up another size. A cold metallic glint flashed in my mouth, enough to easily crush solid steel. Evolution. Complete. The system panel is generating. And the next second, these brand new attributes have me feeling ecstatic. My bloodline is now Earth Grade 5 stars, attack 306, and defense 375. But the craziest part is the new skill Greed. It can actually boost all my attributes by 10%, and it even blocks out all sensations of pain. At this rate, I'm basically an immortal killing machine. But just then my nose twitched as I caught a scent that felt off. It's the smell of spirit herbs coming off little Yan Yan. I flew into a rage instantly. Hey, little Yan Yan, did you seriously sneak some spirit herbs while I was busy evolving? To my surprise, she just smirked at me with a mocking look on her face. Did you actually see me eat them? She asked. I was totally speechless. Without any proof, I just had to swallow my anger. Right about then, I spotted a crystal clear river up ahead. My eyes lit up. Hey, little Yan Yan, let's go for a swim. You can scrub my back and I'll scrub yours. She just screamed, get lost. But in the end, we still went for that bath. Only she shoved me down into the river and set up a spirit array to block my vision. Then she finally got into the water herself. I was grinding my teeth in frustration. There's zero trust between humans and beasts. Just you wait, sooner or later, I'll become a divine master, and I'll personally shatter this little array of yours. After the bath, I stood my ground. I demanded we rest here for a full day, but don't think I'm just being lazy. The beast energy in my body just needs some time to digest. Not long after, a series of system pings started ringing in my head. Digestion of Tier 2. Rock Jade, complete strength, plus 24. Digestion of Bronze Armored Turtle, complete defense, plus 36. Digestion of Peak Tier 1. Bloodthirsty Wolf, complete speed, plus 50 points. My attributes are absolutely skyrocketing. Right after that, another chime rang out. Congratulations, host, on breaking through to rank 1 late stage. I jumped up 2 levels at once. I'm on cloud 9 right now. But the next evolution requires 1,000 points. That's still a long way off. So, I decided to upgrade my skills first. I rubbed my paws together in anticipation. I didn't hesitate to drop over 200 evolution points. This is definitely my biggest flex yet. But the results are insane. Gluttonous Stomach is now level 8. Digestion speed increased by 50%. Damage reduction reached level 6. It can now absorb 6% of all damage. But the most overpowered has to be Greed. Now that it's level 6, it can boost all my attributes by a massive 60%. With the added ability to block out pain, I'm basically an invincible fighting machine. Once this skill hits its max level and I get 100% damage immunity, I'll be able to walk around. Like I own the place, right? But just as I was dreaming, the system threw a total wet blanket on me. Host, you've got it all wrong. Damage reduction doesn't mean total immunity. I froze right there. What's the difference? The host's absorption capacity has a limit. If you cross that limit, even a 100% rate is useless. For example, a 100-point attack might be reduced by 6, but if your limit is only 5 points, then in the end you're still only reducing it by 5. I got it immediately. It's a bit of a bummer, but this skill is still totally cracked. As long as my defense is high enough, the damage I take will stay low. Combine that with damage reduction and weakening, and who could even touch me at the same rank? I'm straight up unbeatable. As for fighting above my level, I'll just let Empress Liu Ru Yan handle that. She's got plenty of experience with the big leagues. Right at that moment, 2 surges of pure energy rushed into my body. Hey, little Yan Yan. Your rank just jumped straight to level 1, too. Her eyes started twitching like crazy. She was totally speechless, 2 rank ups in a row. Is this really the talent of an ancient beast? My insane leveling speed has little Yan Yan completely freaked out. She's looking at me with nothing but suspicion now. My raw strength has already passed hers, and now only her spiritual power is stronger than mine. She's definitely scared I'll turn on her. Sure enough, I guessed exactly what was going through that head of hers. She wants to go all in on training her spiritual power, just to keep me under her thumb. But she never in a million years expected what I was about to say next. It literally made her brain short-circuit. Hey, little Yan Yan. Hurry up and help me find some spirit herbs to boost my spiritual power. My stats are way too lopsided. Right then, her heart nearly skipped a beat, and she scrambled to stop me. No, don't focus on spiritual power. It won't do you any good. Spirit beasts should focus on their physical bodies. I scratched my head, thinking she had a point, but something still felt off. My attack and defense are almost at rank 2, but my spiritual power is only at the middle of rank 1. Is that really okay? But little Yen Yen just started nodding like a maniac. It's totally fine. Being lopsided is good, and I've got way more experience in this area than you. Inside, she was laughing her head off. You're never getting your hands on another spiritual herb ever again. After that, I just lazily flopped onto her shoulder. Hey, little Yen Yen, the mock exam is in 3 days. Where should we go to hang out? She hesitated for a second, then suddenly dropped a bombshell. I want to go get a spirit stone. Do spirit stones taste good? My eyes lit up instantly. In response, a bunch of dark lines appeared on little Yen Yen's forehead. That's an earth-grade treasure for cultivation, not something you eat. Now I was really interested. But as soon as little Yen Yen saw that look on my face, she immediately changed her tune. It's useless for you anyway. Even if you ate it, nothing would happen. Hearing that, I lost interest immediately. If it's that important to her, then what are we waiting for? Let's just go rob the place. But how am I supposed to beat a rank 2 spirit beast right now? However, little Yen Yen hit me with another reality check. That spirit stone is actually sitting right in the starry sparrow's nest. Late stage rank 3. We're talking about a monster that could wipe us out in the blink of an eye. I just chuckled and said, if we can't beat him with brawn, we use our brains. Little Yan Yan, do you have a way to turn us invisible and hide our presence? Turns out she totally did. I immediately pitched my badass plan, using my ability to shrink my body to sneak into that nest and swipe the stone. But little Yan Yan shut me down instantly. No way. The starry void sparrow's eyes can see through any opening. If we're spotted, we won't even have a chance to run. Just as we were about to throw in the towel, a piercing screech echoed from the sky. We looked up sharp, and there it was, a massive blue bird spreading its wings. It was 7 or 8 meters long, hunting down some poor warrior. That giant bird was the starry void sparrow. And yep, it was that late-stage rank 3-1. A smirk crept onto my face. Little Yan Yan, this is our shot, right? She curled her lip a spark, lighting up her eyes. It definitely is. The very next second, she cast a spell and sent me flying straight toward the sparrow's lair. Just when it looked like we were in the clear, she suddenly froze. Her face went pale. That bird. Someone lured it away on purpose. Their target, it was that same star soul stone. And whoever did this isn't messing around. It's the #1 mercenary group in Linjiang City, the Thunder Mercenaries. Their leader, Lei Tianbao, is a rank 4 warrior. He's cold-blooded, vicious, and never forgets a grudge. Anyone who crosses him, well, their whole family pays the price. But there's only one star soul stone, and we're broke as hell. If we don't risk it, what else can we do? That's the harsh reality. No cash, no resources. You've got to bet your life if you want to win, plus this crystal. It's crucial for my Earth-grade cultivation technique. If I can just refine it, my power is going to hit the roof. Right then, little Yan Yan turned to me. Her voice was soft as she asked, "Do you really have the guts to gamble everything with me?" I just burst out laughing. I tilted my chin up. "Don't underestimate me. I'm a Taotie. What's one little rock to me?" Her eyes sparkled at my words. Suddenly, a notification popped up in my head. Liu Ru Yan's intimacy increased by 10%. We're at 60% now. I gave a smug little grin. Farming intimacy is a piece of cake. Before long, we were standing right under the nest. It was built high up in an ancient tree. It would take 7 or 8 people just to wrap their arms around it. 20 or 30 meters wide, I was floored. Man, if I could eat that bird, I'd be in heaven. Too bad I can only dream for now. I whispered to little Yan Yan. "Can you feel any of those thunder mercenaries nearby?" She immediately reached out with her spiritual sense. A few seconds later, her expression shifted. "There's at least 5 of them, and they're all high level." I was confused. Then why haven't they snatched the stone yet? The answer she gave me made my heart drop. Because that bird didn't actually fly that far. It can still see everything happening at the nest. If they make a move, it'll be back in a flash. Game over. It's too smart to fall for their trap. But right then, a thought hit me. Little Yan Yen. Is there any way you can make me invisible and hide my scent? I think I've got a legendary plan. Liu Ru Yan's stunning eyes widened, her face a mask of pure disbelief. She gave a little pout, but she didn't hesitate to channel her mental energy. Instantly, she carved into 2 spiritual arrays onto my body. The first was an aura masking array. The second was a stealth array. One to hide my presence, and the other to turn me completely invisible. Before I headed out, she warned me, saying those spirit stones might be important, but they weren't worth my life. I just gave her a massive toothy grin right then and there. Hey, little Yan Yan, is this a confession? It's only been a few days and you're already falling for my irresistible charm. She just rubbed her temples, looking completely done with me. But I didn't have time to argue. I immediately channeled my mental energy into the arrays on my body. My body shrank in a heartbeat as I quietly slipped away. With these 2 massive arrays backing me up, those level 3 warriors didn't stand a chance of spotting me. Just like that, I easily reached the giant ancient tree. Then I started my climb. But I knew a straight-up robbery wasn't going to work. The second I dared to touch those spirit stones, the starry sky sparrow would spot me instantly. That's why I needed a helper. A perfect helper. Someone who could keep that bird busy for me. And that helper was that group of idiots down at the base of the tree. Exactly. My real goal was to stir the pot and slip away with the prize while they took the heat. Meanwhile, the guy riding on the lightning eagle's back was losing his mind with impatience. His name was Lei Meng. He was the one who discovered the spirit stones, a high-grade Earth-rank treasure, something that could make him a legend overnight. But the problem was, it was guarded. This starry sky sparrow was way too smart. No matter how they tried to lure it away, it wouldn't budge. Seeing his plan falling apart, Lei Meng completely lost his cool. He suddenly unleashed a massive, raging bolt of lightning at the bird. Immediately after, he pulled out his phone and screamed at his men below. Bing, take the guys and get those spirit stones. I'll do everything I can to hold it back. But right then, the person on the other end of the line went dead silent for 2 seconds. Then he asked in a tiny voice, Boss, Meng, a starry sky sparrow egg just fell right into my hands. Do you believe that? Lei Meng went ballistic. What the hell are you talking about? But a terrified scream erupted from the other end. Holy crap, boss. Another one just fell. Bing, hiding under the tree, was completely stunned. 3 bird eggs had literally dropped from the sky, one after another. It was like he was seeing a ghost. Before he could even react, a piercing shriek tore through the air. It echoed through the sky. The starry sky sparrow's eyes turned blood red with rage. Its aura instantly became violent. Lei Meng tried his best to hold it back, but it was totally useless. He could only roar in fury at the people below. Bing, you idiot, move. Lead the guys and grab those spirit stones. Now we only get 1 shot at this. Immediately, 5 shadows lunged out of the darkness and started racing up the tree. I was sitting right there in the nest, just shaking my head at them. These old foxes sure react fast, but it looked like things weren't quite chaotic enough yet. So I let out a cold laugh and used my claw to smash one of the eggs. Right after that, I poured the golden yolk directly onto the guys below. What the? This smells amazing. The guys climbing the tree caught the scent immediately, but a second later, the realization hit them. Wait, who the hell spilled the egg yolk? Boom! The starry sky sparrow in the sky completely exploded with rage. It swiped Lei Meng aside with 1 hit and then turned into a green blur. In the blink of an eye, it streaked back to its nest, firing off countless feathers as sharp as swords. Bang and the crew were shaking in their boots. Get out of here! Everyone, run for your lives, unless you want to end up dead. Those 5 didn't waste a single second. They dove straight off the trees and ran like hell was at their heels. But there was no way they could outrun the starry sky sparrow. They were just running for their lives in pure terror. At that moment, Lei Meng let out a roar from above. Go find a river and scrub yourselves clean. If you don't, it'll hunt you guys down forever. Bang immediately led the group in a desperate break, sprinting toward the river to the east, and just like that, a heist that was supposed to be perfect turned into a complete disaster of an escape. Everything was in total chaos. As for me, I was just lounging comfortably in the nest. I watched them get further and further away. Once I confirmed that both the Starry Sky Sparrow and Lei Ming were successfully lured off, I finally increased my size. I snatched up that glowing spirit stone in one go. Playing the thief who steals from thieves sure feels good. Holding the spirit stone, I ran back to Liu Ru Yan, feeling pretty proud of myself. So isn't your boy's big brain just incredible? But this girl didn't even acknowledge me. She grabbed the stone from my hands and started dragging me along in a frantic run. I just stood there confused. Didn't we just win? Where are we going? But Liu Ru Yan told me that the plan was actually too perfect, which meant it was actually full of openings. The mercenary group, the Thunder Legion, aren't complete idiots. The moment they realize what's happening, they're going to suspect it was us. What's the big deal? We'll just hide for 2 days and then head back. But Liu Ru Yan just shook her head, looking dead serious. We can't. Lei Yuanbao is on his way. He's Lei Meng's brother, a level 4 martial artist. He'll see through us in a heartbeat. The leftover starlight energy on us is the smoking gun. Hiding is just a slow way to die. Hearing that, even I started to get the creeps. Well, what are we waiting for? Little Yan Yan, let me take the wheel. She still looked a bit skeptical about my speed, but in the next blink of an eye, I transformed right into a massive lion with dark energy swirling all around me.